are the majority ethnic group in China, making up 92% of the mainland's population. They also constitute the world's largest ethnic group, with 18% of all people on Earth being Han. Though China is also home to 55 other officially recognized ethnic groups, the Han are what people think of when they hear the word Chinese. By simple estimations, Chinese culture is Han culture, is Chinese culture. The Han take their name from the Han dynasty, which, though not the dynasty to first unite China, represented a Halcyon era of politics and art. It was also the dynasty during which China's most influential historian lived and wrote, and the dynasty that would continue to be romanticized through literature for thousands of years to come. While it is much easier to pinpoint a specific homeland for China's smaller ethnic groups, the Han simply come from China. Before 1949, the country was little more than a diverse collection of dynasties and tribes occupying the general area we know as the China of today. In order for the new communist regime to rally support, it had to rewrite and reconceptualize its own history along a linear timeline. It had to convince the people to adopt one time zone, one language. Though two of China's greatest dynasties in terms of area conquered were foreign ruled, one by the Mongols or the other by the Manchus, Mao Zedong decided that the history of the nation would be that of the Han people and of the Han culture. The language that would be adopted would literally translate as the language of the Han people. It is oft said that China has 5,000 years of history, even when the periods of foreign rule are factored out. There is still a lot of history, too much to cover in one book, let alone one article. In short, however, China was unified in 221 BC by a tyrannical emperor named Qin Shi Huang. Under Qin Shi Huang's leadership, the dynasty established a standardized national writing system as well as standardized units of measurements, abolished feudalism, and began construction on what we now know as the Great Wall of China. Other Qin state that the dynasty proved to be too reliant on a single man and collapsed shortly thereafter. The Qin was replaced by the aforementioned Han dynasty, which reigned supreme for almost 400 years. Among other things, the Han established Confucianism as the official state philosophy, and the decision the country still feels nearly 2,000 years later. Next came what is now known as the Three Kingdoms period, a brave and bloody 60 years that have been immortalized time and again in various aspects of Chinese culture, from literature to video games. The country regained its former glory during the Tang Dynasty, which lasted from 618 to 907 AD. Many people still believe that the Tang was culturally the greatest dynasty that China had seen and would ever see. So great in fact that Chinatowns around the world are now known as Tangren Jie, or Street of the Tang People. After a general named An Lushan started a rebellion against Tang rule, the Tang fell into disrepair, being soon replaced by the Song dynasty. Many of the things people today associate with China originated in the Song dynasty. Rice and tea, for example, now staples of a Chinese diet, replaced wheat and wine as the dominant food and drink during the Song dynasty, food binding, gunpowder, in a Song dynasty. Even the Song could not rule forever, though being finally defeated by the Mongols at the hands of Mongke and Kublai Khan, the Yuan dynasty followed.